Welcome to Simps, Stans, and Superheroes, your weekly podcast where you will find us simping and standing our favorite superheroes. I'm your host, the Sammy Marie, joined by my fiance, Chandy.
And what better way to kick off than with a Marvel couples tier list?
The categories are going to be So Good It Hurts, Adorable Icons, Better Than Most, Cute But Average, and Dive Off Volmir.
All right, you want to bring up the first one?
Alright, so first up, we are going to be going with Brutasha, which is Bruce Banner, and Natasha Romanoff.
And that one is going straight in D tier. That is trash.
They're not the worst.
That is the worst.
They're not the worst.
That sucks.
They're not the worst.
Such a half-baked
There's only
idea.
one couple on here that deserves to be in Dive Off Volmir.
I disagree.
You think that Bruce and Natasha, they're not the best. There wasn't. My biggest gripe is that there was no actual chemistry between Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo. I love them both, but together they just weren't there.
My biggest gripe is that it was completely unnecessary, and
I didn't know you felt that way.
You know, it added nothing to the movie, to Age of Ultron, and then it was completely abandoned afterward anyway. So it didn't even matter.
So you're gonna send her back to Volmir?
I mean, if you want to put it in C, that's fine with me, but it's definitely not going any higher than that.
I mean, no, if you feel that strongly about it, I don't like them together. I'm much more of a Steve and Nat person myself.
Should have been Bucky.
It should have been Bucky, but we won't go down the road of how we were fucking robbed of that one. Right, next up, we have Steve and Peggy.
I'll let you take the lead on that one.
From the very first appearance, and we all know what her character was based off of, so we don't.
Peggy's not that bad.
Peggy is the worst one of the worst Marvel characters.
That's false.
She enables what happens to Bucky.
Did you even watch the first Avenger?
Did you?
Yeah. She was the founder, or not founder.
A different girl kisses Steve and she shoots him. A different girl kisses Steve and she shoots him.
Okay, I mean it was the 1940s.
Sir. Nope. That's the whole reason why I created Dive Off Volmir as the bottom category. Alright. Next up, now this one, I'm not quite sure where you fall on this, but as someone who loves Loki, I'm not the biggest Silky person.
You mean Sylvie?
No, Silky is their ship name.
Oh, okay. That's stupid.
It's honestly, if I liked the girl more, I think I would be more okay with it, but because I don't like the girl.
I don't have a problem with this. If you cloned yourself, would you find it unethical to have sexual relations with your clone?
I feel like getting off yourself is the same category.
Yeah,
everybody does that anyway.
Is it incest or masturbation?
My issue is just I don't really like the actress. I think we could have gotten someone that looked more like Hela, and so my thing.
Well, then it would be incest.
My issue isn't so much the self-cess that I see people complain about. It's just that I don't like the look of them together in general.
I think it's perfectly fine. I would put this in B, honestly.
You put it in B?
Yeah, it's so middle of the road.
It's not better than most.
At least it's important to the story, and I mean it's
not better than most. How about I give you cute but average?
Fine, but you better put it above Bruce and Nat, yeah.
All right. Next we have Fitzsimmons.
S. Sorry, yeah.
This is an
S
easy
tier.
one.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best couples in the entire Marvel universe.
I agree. They definitely flow the best together of anybody else.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would not have nearly been as good.
Sorry.
Can I finish now? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would have been borderline unwatchable without these two in it.
It wouldn't have no plot without them in it.
I agree.
Alright, then we have Winter Widow, which is only available in comic form because the Russo brothers hate us, but where do you think they fall?
Well, this is an MCU tier list.
It's not. It's just a Marvel tier list.
All right, fine. It goes in A.
It goes in A?
Yeah, in my opinion, it goes in A.
They're married in the comics. They have children. They find each other again and again. He trained her in the Red Room.
Okay.
Fuck you.
They're just so boring.
They're just so boring.
Yeah, they're so boring, so basic. So many better.
How dare you?
They're not even the
Do
like
you want to sleep in the car tonight?
no.
What do you mean they're
They're just
boring?
boring. Like there's better and more interesting couples on this list.
I'll put them in A.
They're definitely not better than Fitzsimmons.
All right, I can't argue with that one point. WandaVision.
S. That one deserves an S. Still one of the best Disney Plus shows.
It is definitely the best Disney Plus show, but they're also one of the best couples. And if we don't get him back,
Probably not going to get either of them back on unfortunately.
if Elizabeth Olsen stands in the way, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, now we have oh shit, I forget what their ship name was, but it's Star Lord and Gamora.
B. I have zero opinion about this one, and because we don't have anybody in B, because it's like, yeah, it's certainly not more. It's certainly not better than Winter Widow, but it's definitely not as offensive as Bruce and that.
All right, we'll put them in B. I'm not much of a Guardians person, so I can live with that. Now we have Steve and Nat. Their chemistry, Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson just have off the walls chemistry in every single movie that they've done. They've known each other for so long. They just have the best chemistry. So I don't think it's so much that I love Steve and Nat as I love Chris and Scarlett. But they had so much more on screen chemistry in like one movie versus all of Bruce and Nat's combined.
Well, I'm pretty sure Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson did project together before joining the MCU, so that makes sense that they have more chemistry.
They did three.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And it was definitely a missed opportunity, and it would have made way more sense for that to happen over the whatever bullshit went on with him and Peggy after. I mean, Peggy should have just stayed in the past.
Peggy
Um,
shouldn't have existed. Okay, so
but
where are we putting them?
I'll let you I'll let you decide this one.
Let me say, I think they're definitely not as good as her and Bucky, so I think we'll put them in B.
Yeah, I put it in
Yep.
B, but put it above Star Lord and Gamora.
Okay. All right, now we have because we're just riding the Steve train. Steve and Sharon.
Yeah, that's gonna go solidly in D. That is just that's just gross.
After Endgame, it makes it so much worse because what he just went back in time and he watched her grow up and then still kissed her. Like there's so many more things wrong with that, and not enough
Yeah,
people have issue with it. They're just kind of like, oh yeah, we don't talk about that. And it's like, no, no. If you're gonna tell me you ship Steve and Peggy, you're gonna acknowledge the fact that he stuck his tongue in his niece's mouth.
yeah, that's it's just gross, especially after Peggy's funeral.
All right. Then we got pepperoni.
The only reason I'm going to suggest this goes in A tier is because of its importance to the MCU. These both of these characters are very, like concrete and like important to the overall overarching story. But in general, I don't really like either of them as people. I like Iron Man as a character. I really don't like Pepper Potts.
I'm not on my cycle, Pepper. You know,
Not a clue.
second movie. Anyway,
Yeah, Iron Man 2 is one of the most forgettable movies in the entire MCU. Seen
I
it like
like
six
Tentacle
times,
Man.
and I probably remember like three scenes.
I like Tentacle Man. Didn't he have a bird?
Whiplash? Yeah.
I like the bird. Okay, so pepperoni A. Put it in A because they're not. I mean, I love them, but nowhere near as much as I love WandaVision.
Would have been better if he got to live at the end of Endgame and, have a
Raise his
family.
daughter.
Yeah.
All right, now we have. I put all three Peters in here. Peter and MJ. Peter 1 and MJ.
So it's gonna be Tom Holland Spider-Man
Yes.
with okay. I think that this one is an S.
This one's an S for
Yeah,
you?
for
I
sure.
agree.
I
They're a great
honestly,
team.
Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man because he is so good at displaying the like youthful and playful energy that Spider-Man has.
Sorry.
You
Sorry.
done?
Yes, I'm done.
The energy he gives off as Spider-Man is very reminiscent of, you know, the youthful Peter Parker you see in most other mediums. Um, uh, yeah, that's all about all I have to add to that.
All right. This is my favorite. This is my favorite Peter, and this is my favorite girlfriend, Peter and Gwen.
All right, Andrew Garfield definitely was one of the best at playing Spider-Man. It really unfortunate that his movies were so bad. It definitely wasn't his fault though. These
Yeah, it
two
wasn't
were
his
the
fault.
highlights of the movies,
Oh yeah,
and I would
they're going
what
in S either way.
okay. I mean, I can't argue with that. I personally would put it in A, but honestly, yeah, S is fine.
The only thing I didn't like is when he agrees to stay away from her, and it like the first movie ends where like she's like, "My dad told you to stay away from me, didn't he?" And then the next movie picks up and they're just already happy and back together. Like, what the fuck's taking you so long?
The only thing I didn't like was at the end of the second movie when he failed to catch her in her next
Shut
snap.
up! We can't talk about that here.
Yeah, that sucked.
Fuck you. All right, then we have Peter and Mary Jane. Where do you fall on this list?
Yeah, this one falls in B. I think Tobey Maguire was a great Peter Parker, um, but I wasn't a huge fan of. I think what was her name?
I don't know her name.
Kristen
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst. Yeah, I mean, no, she's a great actress, and I mean, she had a great performance in these movies. But I personally like the other two more.
I
Um,
hated her Mary Jane. I liked it when I was a kid because I was like, oh, it's a redhead like me. But like, no, she's such a pain in the fucking ass when I rewatch these movies. There's
yeah,
no way they're going that high.
really?
There's no way they're going
Where
that
do you
high.
want to put it?
I want to put it at C after Bruce and Natasha.
Mm,
She's constantly in the way, and like even when she finds out he's Spider-Man, she's like, "Oh my god, you're gonna miss my play to save the world, motherfucker! What did you think he was gonna do?"
that's a fair point, but I can't put the original Spider-Man trilogy that low.
It's not the movies; it's just the couple.
Okay, fine, put it in C. It's fine.
If I put them above Bruce and Natasha, will that make you feel better?
Yes, it would.
Okay. All
At
right.
least because at least this couple is necessary to their story, and the
Debatable.
story of their relationship is actually a vital part of the of Peter Parker's story. You know, with Bruce and Nat, it's like you could just remove every scene with them together entirely, and the movie would be better.
I take offense to that on behalf of the first Avengers with them flirting back and forth. That the flirting in the first Avengers was
When do
a
they
little.
ever flirt in the first Avengers movie?
You didn't come here because I bat my eyelashes at you. Yeah, and I'm not leaving because you got a little bit twitchy.
I didn't see that as flirting, but okay.
Okay, well, I'm enemies to lovers thing, so I saw that as flirting. Anyway, moving on, we have Stephen Strange and Palmer.
Yeah, this. I mean, obviously, Palmer's important to Strange, and their relationship is, you know, framed to be important, but like they literally aren't even together. So how could this go anywhere other than D?
Yeah. D.
they're
Guy
not.
called
They're not. They're
Palmer.
not even a couple.
They're not a. All right, yeah, I
They
guess
were
relationship wise, they're
by the
not
time the movie
technically a
starts,
couple.
they aren't even together anymore.
All right, fine. But I love her. I can't put her
Yeah,
beside Atwell.
they're not even together. It's not even a couple.
Fine, on behalf of them not being a couple, no.
Should go all the way at the bottom.
No! No one can go. Okay. Then
Fine.
we have T'Challa and Nakia.
I feel like we didn't really get any. You know, we didn't really get much of this relationship. You know, the first Black Panther movie was entirely just about, Black Panther stuff. There wasn't really a romantic storyline.
Yeah, but now they have their baby. She raised her kid. And he's
That's
gonna carry on the mantle.
that's fair. I guess. I mean, I'll suggest that this goes in B.
Okay, I can put it at B. I'll put it at the top of B.
I wouldn't go that far.
Because, we didn't get much of them on screen, but it's very heavily implied that they actually had, a good, healthy, stable relationship. And you can't argue that Gamora and, what's his name did.
That's fair. And out of all these couples, they are one of the only few to have children. So
Yeah. They're the only one. Or, no, I
no,
guess Peggy, or not Peggy, fuck, Pepper.
Pepper and WandaVision.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Shut,
technically,
don't
they
fucking start!
technically they have kids.
Alright. Then we have, at your request, Hank and, what's, Janet? Janet?
Yeah, Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym. Obviously, this is only the MCU version of Hank and Janet. Only the MCU version. I'd probably put them in B.
Put them in B?
They are, I mean, they're very cute together in the movies, but obviously they have a little bit of a rocky relationship, I guess.
In the comics, you
No, 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 no.
mean?
In the
Well, you specified very clearly, like only the movie
Oh, that's
version.
because Hank Pym in the comics is an abusive piece of shit.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to know why there was a clarification. I haven't read many Ant Man comics. All right,
He
now.
straight up slaps her on the cover of a
Oh,
comic. On the,
Jesus. All right then. Hope and Scott.
yeah, this one's also just pretty boring in my opinion.
I think cute but average. There's nothing special about them. I don't like that
Yeah.
actress very much.
No, they deserve to be above Hank and Janet.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I would
Just
just
swap
switch.
them.
Yeah,
Just
swap
swap
them.
them.
Yeah, bring Hank and Janet down and put Scott and Hope up into
I don't
B.
know. The old people were cute. I love when Hank walks in the last Ant Man movie. Whenever like the whole ant scene when he emerges to like I am king and he's like motherfucker and I have ants.
Yeah.
That scene was awesome, but that wasn't really a couple scene.
Quantumania was so good, and like after it came out, nobody talked about it because nobody cared.
Yeah, because it was Paul
It's
Rudd's.
like
No one ever pays attention to Paul Rudd's, which makes me so sad. I love Paul Rudd. He's such a sweet guy. All right, Thor and Jane.
S.
S. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Easily an S.
S?
Yeah.
Did we watch the same movies?
Yeah.
Which ones did you
Clearly,
watch?
the Thor ones.
What do you mean S?
S. They're one of the best couples in
No,
the
they're
MCU.
not.
Yes, they are.
Oh, listen, I love her as Padme, but I don't know what the fuck was up with her as Jane.
I mean, yeah, the first movie was not that good, but
There's
I,
not much chemistry there. It's her being like, what? With her face scrunched up like 90% of the time, and him being like, oh, hey, I'm gonna do this thing.
you've kind of just described like almost every couple on this list.
Right. But like, he fucks off and just leaves her.
When?
And they showed in through the flashbacks
Oh
in Love
yeah,
and
yeah,
Thunder
yeah.
that he's just like, when he's there, he's being lazy, he's not doing shit, and he's like making her depressed. And then when he fucks off and leaves, he disappears for a long time. And then he just shows back up.
You know, it's been a while since I've seen um, the Dark World, and I feel like that was the only one where you really get a frame of reference for their relationship.
I like them in the
Because
Dark
she,
World.
I don't think she's in Ragnarok,
No, she's not.
and obviously she spoiler dies in Love and Thunder, which was stupid, honestly. But
it was it was one of those scenes. One of my biggest gripes with Love and Thunder is just they gave Taika Waititi way too much freedom, and he made it way too funny for such a serious event to happen. That when it happened, I was like, "Wait, is this for real? Is she?
yeah,
Oh, she's actually. Oh, she's actually
I
okay."
agree. They undercut the serious scenes with the comedy, and then also they wasted such a good villain. I'll say I don't think like a lot of people criticize Love and Thunder saying that like oh the comedy is too much or it's not funny or whatever. But I feel like if you think Ragnarok is funny, then how can you not think that Love and Thunder is funny? Also, they're the same type of humor.
Well, no, they leaned way heavier into it with Love and Thunder. Like the whole fucking Scooby Doo voice, Jane was just so like out of like why? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? It was too much. It was too comedic for me.
I think it wasn't any more like overtly comedic than Ragnarok.
I think Tom Hiddleston's way of playing comedic roles balanced it out in Ragnarok because he was like more of like a facial expression of stoic kind of
Yeah,
comedy.
Love and Thunder would have been 100 times better if Loki was there.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we putting them? They're not going in S. I refuse.
Oh, where do you want to put them? Not
I would say cute but average, but I know you're not gonna settle for that. So where do you want them?
just put them in B.
Put them
Can
in
we
B.
just compromise
We
and put
can
them in B?
we can put them in B. I'll put them after
Also, why were
T'Challa.
the Guardians in Love and Thunder? So like they were just there and
They were just there for the
for
first 15 minutes.
yeah, and they just left. It was like so unnecessary.
Flint and Laura. His farm family is so wildly hated and it triggers the fuck out of me. They're so cute. They married him to Velma. How does I don't understand how anyone has a problem with him being married to Velma. And everyone's like, oh, they threw it in at the last minute. Like, no, it's a secret life. Of course he has a secret fucking life. Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? He's like the most seasoned person there besides Nick and like
Yeah.
Coulson, but R.I.P. He's already dead by then.
Yeah. Well, a few times actually.
A few times.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want them?
Also, I really don't. I mean, I love the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. It's one of my favorites of all the Marvel shows. But I don't like how it seemed like they were implying that she was also a Shield agent.
They implied that she was Mockingbird
Yeah,
or
which
Mockingjay, whatever the fuck it is.
Mockingbird, which is dumb because there was already a Mockingbird in Agents of
But
Shield,
Agents of
who's a
Shield
better
isn't canon.
Mockingbird. Agents of Shield is canon, and I
It's
refuse to
not.
believe otherwise. I don't care how many times anybody from Marvel will explicitly state that it is not canon. I refuse to believe that it is canon to me.
I choose that it's not canon, so I don't have to deal with stupid Daisy
No,
running around. I
Quake is a
can
good
believe.
character.
I can
He's just a
choose to
hater.
believe. I can choose to believe that it's canon as long as she's Sky, and as soon as she changes her fucking name to
She did.
Daisy, I no longer have
Her
to
name
believe
was
it's canon.
always Daisy.
No, it
She
wasn't.
changed
Her
her
name
name to
was
Sky.
her name was Sky. She didn't know
That's a
what her real
fake
name
name.
was.
Her real name is
She
Daisy.
didn't know what her real name was until her stupid fucking parents came back from the dead just to die again.
I mean, they didn't come back from the dead. They weren't dead. They were just
They were dead to her.
good
She
point.
didn't fucking know.
Well, now they're definitely dead to her. So is everyone else.
So Clay and Laura,
Where do you want to put them?
I love them. How about can we agree on adorable icons?
I mean, I would put them in S.
Oh, okay. I thought you were arguing that they weren't the best.
No, I mean they're obviously have a stable relationship. They have children. That beginning scene in Endgame where his family gets snapped away
Oh
is
my
probably one
god,
of the most
I blocked
depressing
that shit out.
depressing movie scenes in any superhero movie.
I love that he went Ronin after that though. Like
Yeah,
I'm so glad he didn't just like turn back to good. He was just like, no, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna slaughter everybody.
exactly.
That's why I love him so much. All right, last up we have Nick and Vera slash Priscilla, whichever name you want to call her by. If you haven't watched Secret Invasion, you have no idea who we're talking about. But this is Nick's secret wife. Where would you put her? Her and him. I love that he had a secret wife. I hate that she was double crossing him and like kind of fucking shady, but
Well, she wasn't really double crossing him, like
he
she.
technically abandoned her.
Yeah, he was in space and she was just with her people. I think like that's kind of understandable, but at the end of the day, she stood up for him and she was refused to, take action against him.
Oh no, they
So,
shot each other at the same time. They
well,
shot past each
yeah,
other at the same time.
exactly. They intentionally shot past each other,
Okay.
which was them declaring that they aren't going to fight each other.
Okay. She chose him at the end, didn't she? They went up in space
Yeah, they
together.
went they went back to the space station together.
Yeah. So where would you put them?
I don't know. I guess I'd put this in B. I'm so indifferent to this because I mean Secret Invasion was just kind of,
I love Secret Invasion.
it was all right.
The only thing I didn't really like was the end fight between what was her name? Kira? No, wait, that's her name in Star Wars. What's her name in
I
what was her name in that? Amelia
see. I don't
Clark's
even
character.
remember.
Well, I thought it was Kira, but it wasn't. Kira was her name in
In Solo, yeah.
yeah.
Gaia.
Gaia,
Her
okay.
name is Gaia.
So the fight between Gaia and Garrick at the end,
You mean Gravik?
fucking hell. Their fight was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, it was lame.
It was anticlimactic because the second we found out it wasn't really Nick there, like the weight was kind of lost because it was like they could kill her off, you know.
Yeah.
They already killed off her dad.
I didn't. Did she die? I don't even remember.
No, she didn't die.
Okay.
No, at the end, the lady that wore the pink coat the whole time came up and she was like, "You're gonna help me," and she was like, "Why the fuck would I trust you?" And she
Oh
said, "I don't
yeah.
want you to trust me. I just want you to help me."
Yeah, I remember that.
I want more of them.
Yeah.
They will be fucking sick if we get more of them in the future.
If there was a season 2 of Secret Invasion, I would honestly be more interested if it was about them rather than Nick and Vara.
I mean, yeah, just give me a little bit of Nick sprinkled in, but I honestly like those two would be sinister together because they're like, we're two women, we don't fucking trust you, and we're just gonna fuck people up.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that for them. Nick and Vara though, on the scale where are we playing them? I think that they are better than most.
Yeah, I already said I'd put them in the bottom of B.
Put them at the bottom?
Yeah.
No.
No, they're
They're
definitely
at
not
least.
better than Scott and Hope.
Oh yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Scott and Hope are fucking boring. They have no chemistry together.
What makes you say that? Did you
She's,
watch the same anime movies that I did?
yes, she was just kind of there. There was no heat between them. There was no like, let me kiss you before I die.
All right. Well, my opinion on this is not strong enough to argue with that. So do what you want.
All right, so I'm gonna put them above Hope and Scott.
At the very top, we got Fitzsimmons, which I completely agree with. And
WandaVision.
uh, oh, you're gonna go through the entire tier.
No.
And of course, at the very bottom, we have Steve and Peggy and Steve and Sharon, where they belong.
Exactly. I'm glad we can agree on that.
All right, well, that was our Marvel couples tier list. Let us know if you agree or disagree with any of these takes. Make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or a like on Spotify.
And make sure you go follow us on all of our other social media. You can find us on every platform under Simps, Stance, and Superheroes. We'll see you next week.